Alright, what is good, y'all? Today we're coming back with a different kind of video. We're switching it up a bit, and we're just doing 10 different things that, wait, 11 different things that I wish I knew before growing out my hair. A lot of these things are like pretty self-explanatory to people who've had long hair for a while, or if you like grew up with long hair. And it's one of those things where it's like, typically your parent will like show you the ropes and shit, or, you just get used to it, you just do it your whole life. But when you're a full-grown adult, you don't really learn those things. So this is a bunch of random things I've learned the past like 2-ish years while growing out my hair, pretty much. The first one is you'll probably go through an ugly phase. Not everybody. I know I did, and I'll put it up. Well, because first of all, your hair doesn't know what you're doing. It's just not used to being long, so it'll just do weird shit. I basically just like went from a completely like normal short hairstyle and then just let it grow out from there. So my hair grew out like kind of unevenly at first. It's still uneven, but you can't really tell too much. However, you can see like this side is a lot more curly than this side for whatever reason. I don't know. So I still haven't cut it since I started growing it out. So it'll grow out really even, and it's long enough now to where like the difference isn't too bad. But yeah, you have to go through an ugly phase that lasted like a few months for me. Maybe if you have like a middle part or something, then it'll just grow and it'll be fine. But I parted my hair to the side before I started growing my hair out. Then after I started growing out, I just had like pretend this isn't here, and I just had like a really big flop on this side, and it started getting ridiculous, and I was like, okay, we gotta part it down the middle. But then the middle part was uneven. It was just really ugly for a while. So second thing is you pretty much have to tie your hair back before doing anything. And there's a lot of people that don't, but then like whenever they need to, they're just like walking around like this, which is like, I don't know, it just looks dumb to me. And it's like, you gotta use your hands for shit. So yeah, like eating, going to the pool, sports, sucking dick, pretty much everything. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You could do it really quickly. It's not a huge deal, but yeah. And then speaking of, so I thought you just had to use hair ties, but like, or not just had to, but that's what I imagined. And fuck, where was I going with this? So when I first started growing my hair out, like I said, I had a middle part, so it wasn't too bad, and I didn't need to tie my hair back before doing stuff. I was still doing like trampoline flips and stuff like that, and it wasn't a huge deal. But it started growing longer and longer, and then it just like slowly like went more and more in my face when I tried to do shit. So like I had to tie it back, and I thought at first I needed like a traditional hair tie like this, and it works, and maybe it's debatably best, but it like really like pulls your hair out, and it's really annoying. Even when you put it in, like if you're a trampoline athlete, for instance, it'll just come out after like a few jumps, unless you do it really tight, which is kind of hard to do. So I think you got to use like bobby pins or some shit, but that's a lot of work. So, but just for like casual use, I prefer these. If honestly, just all the time, just because they don't pull your hair out as much. They're just really thick hair ties. But even these are still kind of annoying. So just around the house, I just use scrunchies. Like it takes 2 seconds. You just go like this. Whoop-de-doo. But the thing is, whenever you do it like that, you still have like a ponytail, right? So this comes into the next thing where you have to learn. You can't just learn how to do a ponytail. You can get away with it for a while, but for some stuff like doing like trampoline sports or pretty much any sports, you gotta tie it in a bun. Like you can get away with doing a ponytail, but it can still get in your face. And I've actually like had let me put it back real quick. So I've had moments where like I've been jumping on a trampoline and like I don't think it's on the flip. I think it's like whenever like I come back down, like let's say I do like a front flip, so I'm coming back down like this, and my hair will like flip over and like whip me in the face like this. But there's people like Karma Flips. I'm pretty sure she just uses like a ponytail and she can do like quads and stuff. So it's like not a huge deal, but that is a thing. And then also when you're working on like cars and stuff, it's you gotta like have it in a bun because one, it'll be like dangling in your face the whole time like that, but then also it'll be like there's a bunch of oil and shit everywhere. So for stuff like that, you gotta learn how to do it in a bun. And when you're first growing it out, you can just do this this kind of ghetto technique where you I have to take it out. Fuck. So you tie it like you normally would, but the difference is you just go like that, and then there you go. It's in a bun. It doesn't really work whenever you like it actually starts growing out. So you gotta learn a bunch of bun techniques, and like, this sounds stupid, but it honestly looks like witchcraft whenever I see people do it on like tutorials. And that's another thing. Hair tutorials. Most of them are god awful. They just like glaze over. They're just like, you just do this, and then you do this, and then you just, and there you go. And then that's the end of it. And then you have to like slow it down and like 0.25, and maybe this is just me, but like I swear to God, there's women in the comments too, actually, that I've seen, and they back me up. They know what I'm talking about. They're just so used to doing it, they just glaze over all the like the niche things you have to learn. So all like the bun tutorials I've seen, like they're so difficult. I just do like the really basic one where you like twist it, but even then, that one it looks weird and it's still like kind of annoying. It takes a while, so I don't know. Next one, you'll get hair everywhere. You'll start finding hair in just random places, and you don't even really know how it got there. Like for instance, under my desk right now, I'm not gonna look around, but there will just be like random clumps of hair that'll just like appear. I'll just like feel it with my feet, and I'll just be like, "What the hell is that?" And I'll grab it. It'll literally just be a ball of hair. It'll just appear there. Like I don't know how it got there. So, and it's not just under my desk. It'll just be around my room. I can't walk around my room without just feeling hair on my feet. And like, you can vacuum. It helps a little bit. It's still there. It'll just be there again. So, yeah, that's another thing. I'll see hair appear in like my bathroom sink. The other big one, which I guess this can be a separate thing, but it'll appear in your shower a lot, mostly in the drain. You'll know because your shower will start clogging. And I don't know if this is like hair dependent or not, but what I've noticed is that like around once a month it'll clog, and I have to declog it. Literally just from my hair existing. And I'll brush the shit out of my hair like before getting in the shower too. Like try to get all the loose hairs and whatnot. And it's still not enough. It'll still clog randomly. Maybe I just have a shitty drain or something. But yeah, that's another thing. Another thing is pain in the ass. Straightening your hair. As you can see, mine, it's like, I wouldn't say it's curly, but it's kind of like wavy. But it's also mostly straight. However, this part still looks kind of whack. And I don't want it to do whatever this is. So I have to straighten it. But it takes like 2 hours to straighten your hair. I didn't realize that. No one told me that. I was just like, oh, you just, doop-a-doop, and then there you go. No, you have to like section your hair. You can even do like this. You can't. This is too much. You have to do like this much at a time. So splitting your hair into this many things, and then you gotta get rid of the part that's already done and the part that isn't done yet, and section it all off and stuff. And yeah, and it's just not worth it, to be honest. There is some kind of treatment you can get where you like permanently straighten your hair, but I haven't like invested or looked into that too much. But yeah, straightening your hair, that's a pain in the ass. So if your hair isn't naturally straight or like does weird curly things like mine, you get used to it or suck it up and straighten your hair. But yeah. But the next thing, so the products. Products is another big thing. And this is something you'll see in a lot of tutorials. Like every tutorial, they don't show you how to do shit like naturally most of the time. They'll be like, oh, you gotta buy this product, you gotta buy this product, you gotta buy this product. You can get away with like the bare basics. Like you 100% need a brush. Like you cannot get away with not having a brush. And that's something to tie your hair back for sure. I use, like I showed before, I have scrunchies, hair ties, thick hair ties. This is a good hair tie I recommend a lot of people get. These like really stretchy ones. So I'm not going to link any. I don't know where you get them. This just kind of appeared here. But yeah, those are pretty good. And then you'll also want a claw clip. I only have one. This is just a random one. I thought it like matched my hair. Looks kind of gay, but there it is. You'll need that. Something to tie your hair back. And then you also need, okay, you don't need it, but you're probably going to want to have a blow dryer. Because I dealt with not having one for a little bit, and it was like the biggest pain in the ass. My hair just took forever to dry. I mean, it's kind of obvious. You have more hair, it takes longer to dry. So you're going to need a hair dryer, and you don't want to get one that sucks, because then it'll take forever to... Wait, is it called a hair dryer or a blow dryer? Anyways, it'll take forever to blow dry. So you gotta have that. If your hair is wavy, curly, you don't like it, you're gonna have to get a straightener. Of course, you can always borrow from someone if you live with anyone with long hair. And then, okay, so on the topic of that, hair drying, your showers are just gonna take longer in general. Like, you can't just take a quick 5-minute shower and, do everything. You can't just like shampoo, conditioner, wash your body, and then done in like 5 minutes. You just can't do that anymore. It's just not an option. Most people, don't want to wash your hair every day. I wash mine like every other day. Some people just do it once a week. Some people do it every day. But yeah, whenever I do, even if I'm trying to even if I'm going as fast as I can, like almost like I'm speed running it'll still take me like 30 minutes. Like 10 minutes in the shower, 10 minutes like drying off, 10 minutes like brushing my hair pretty much. It's nothing you can really do about it, but just know you're going to have to take a lot longer. I thought, when I didn't even know I had to blow dry my hair, I was just like, oh, it'll just be whatever. But it'll take hours to air dry. So you can't do that. Some people, I don't even know if this is some people thing. I think this maybe just is just better for your hair in general to air dry it, but it takes way too long. It takes like, I can't give an actual time frame because I don't really do it, but it takes hours. So you might as well just blow dry it. And then while you're actually, washing your hair, then, that takes forever because you gotta make sure you get everywhere. Then you gotta get the strands and everything. And then if you have, a separate shampoo and conditioner, then you got to do that twice. So it's like, it takes forever. Next one, okay, so this one, a little subjective, but I feel like it's pretty objective. Having long hair is a feminine hairstyle. It's just a feminine trait, and there's no real getting around that, to be honest. It looks less feminine if you have dreads, I guess, or if you have like a beard or something, then, it doesn't really, I wouldn't say it looks feminine necessarily, but, if you look like me, no beard in sight, no dreads in sight either, then yeah, you're just going to look a little feminine. So, you'll get misgendered a good bit. I know I did whenever I was a server. That happened pretty much every day, which I was fine with it. I thought it was kind of funny. And I didn't say this before, but I did have fairly long hair whenever I was in around like second grade, and that happened all the time, and I didn't really care. But the thing is, whenever where was I going? There's a lot of people that will just like misgender you or whatever. I hate using that word. It sounds very like PC. I don't know. I get a lot of ma'ams at work. Anyways, so yeah, if they do that, it's innocent. They don't mean well. In fact, a lot of people will be like, "Ma'am, sir, oh, sorry," and then they'll like stutter, and it's kind of hilarious. But that's like all innocent, right? They're just I don't want to say confused, but I guess they are confused. Yeah, they're just confused. They don't know. They just don't know your gender, and it's whatever. So it's innocent. But then there's some people who will just make fun of you for having having long hair, and that's something you're gonna have to kind of deal with. Not a lot. I would say like I definitely get way more compliments than like insults, but a lot of people say like very condescending things. Or no, okay, they'll do like a backhanded compliment. Like they'll compliment your hair or something like that, but you know what they mean. Or they'll something I get all the time, like, "Oh, nice hair. When are you gonna cut it?" Mostly by like older family members and stuff like that, which is kind of obvious, I guess. But people also say stuff like, "Oh, you got some real pretty hair there," random shit like that. And so that's another thing, you kind of just have to get used to it. Laugh it off, do whatever. But yeah, so that's another thing. That's kind of a downside, but that's something pretty much everyone has to deal with. That if you do anything that's, outside of the norm, I guess. Which I thought, like, having long hair is just like, I never saw it as like a huge deal. Like I didn't think people would care that much when I like grow out my hair. Like people like start to see you differently when you have long hair, I've noticed. I mean, I don't have anyone like confirm this, but just from like my perspective, like it seems like you go from just being a guy to a guy with long hair. People see you and then they see your long hair. But yeah, so that's something else I've noticed. Like I said, again, it's mostly good things. Like that's pretty much like that's pretty much everyone's like first conversation starter that I've seen. Whether it's like a family member I haven't seen in a long time or just a stranger, be like, "Oh, nice hair. How long have you been growing it out?" Shit like that. And The next one, I don't know if I touched on this before, but you will be brushing your hair pretty much chronically. Or at least I know I will. I cannot go like 30 minutes to an hour without brushing my hair. I'm not kidding. Which I haven't in a while. I probably should. But it's kind of compulsive at this point. But if I don't, like, I will notice it'll start getting crazy. And it'll like split off like this. Like, and I haven't washed my hair. I'm going to later. But as of right now, it kind of, I don't know if it's like showing. You can see it like on the top better, but like it splits, it like sections itself if I don't brush it. After I brush it, then it's like, it's like one unit basically. So there's that, but you also get like a bunch of knots in it. So yeah, you gotta deal with that. And then this is another one, but it kind of goes along with the last one. Pretty much, you gotta be aware of the elements essentially, namely wind and water, but also I guess, wait, is sun an element? Yeah, wind and water. We'll stick with wind and water. So those will make your hair kind of crazy. And when I had short hair, I didn't care. I didn't, this should go without saying, I didn't tie my hair back before getting in the pool or whatever. Even when my hair started getting long, I still didn't care. But I noticed when I get into the pool, my hair was just down and it was just doing whatever. It would get tangled and kind of lock up or whatever. But I didn't care. I just like went like that. Then it was fine. For the meantime, I was in the pool. But after you get to the shower, even before you get into the shower, you just try to brush it, before you shampoo and all that stuff. It'll take like 10 minutes to brush it, like, because it'll be like stuck together. So you're brushing it like that, and it just won't brush right. So you pretty much have to put your hair up before you go into the pool, unless you're saying fuck it. But and then also wind will just like completely mess up your hair. I still don't completely understand it if I'm being honest, but like, because I always thought it's like, oh, wind in your hair, it just blows it, and the wind's gone, it goes back down. But when the wind blows your hair, it'll tangle it a little bit, and it'll also like split it off and stuff like that. So, yes. I don't care about 21 Pilots. That's not true. No, I'm recording a video. Okay, last one. This is kind of a bonus one because I actually did know this before growing out my hair, but this is actually something my uncle told me whenever he had long hair. So you can actually get like a crooked neck from growing your hair out, which may seem weird. It's like it weighs a bit, but it doesn't like weigh that much. And it's not from like the weight, but it's from if you, one, part it to the side, and two, if you have it down all the time, even while you're trying to do stuff. So you'll be trying to talk to someone, it'll start going down, and then it'll kind of be like, and that's what my uncle did all the time, and now he literally has I wouldn't say permanently crooked neck, but his neck is naturally like kind of crooked, like that. So yeah, I don't have to deal with that, even though I do have my hair parted to the side. I have it back most of the time if I need to. I mean, if I'm just like watching a show or something, then I don't have to have it back. I could just chill like this, and there's no need to make my neck crooked. So, but yeah, that's something to watch out for. So if you have long hair and you're a dude, I can understand not wanting to tie it back, but get over yourself. I don't know what else to say. And yeah, that's pretty much all the things. I'm sure I left some stuff out, but yeah, those are most of the things I wish, I knew before growing out my hair. Yeah, no one really told me any of these things. So this is stuff I figured out. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more I have to figure out. I still haven't mastered the bun techniques and, whatever other nonsense I have to deal with. So, but yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little different. So, I don't think I'm going to be one of those beauty channels, but this is just something that's been on my mind, an idea I had. So, yeah, that's about it. Peace out. Stay genuine.